James Corden, arsehole. Obnoxious. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Some time ago I told you about the fact that James Corden, arsehole, is a narcissist. I gave him a thoroughly good roasting, utterly deserved, and if you haven't, by some terrible error, not enjoyed watching that roasting of James Corden, arsehole, then I would encourage you to remedy that deficiency as a matter of urgency, but ensure that you're not imbibing any liquids or that you haven't any food in your mouth as you listen. Otherwise, you're likely to spray your computer or people around you or choke on the food that's in your mouth. I have since then, of course, provided further updates with regard to demonstrating the behaviours of James Corden, arsehole, that support the finding that he is a narcissist. And oddly enough, yet more has come to the fore. As detailed by Kate Dennett for Mail Online, director slams James Corden, arsehole, as the most difficult and obnoxious presenter he's ever worked with. A TV director has slammed James Corden, arsehole, the most difficult and obnoxious presenter he has ever worked with, claiming the English comic berated haughty behaviour, lack of emotional empathy, and cursed at staff for a popular British game show. The comments come from Craig Duncan, who directed Corden, arsehole, age 44, during an episode of A League of Their Own, a programme that featured the Late Late Show host as a presenter from until 2019. One can't understand why on earth anybody would want to watch that programme with him in it. I had the misfortune of watching one episode. I think I made it through about 10 or 15 minutes worth, where essentially Corden, arsehole, giggled like a squealing pig and made it all about him. Unsurprising, of course. Talking to YouTube to recall his experience with the actor, Duncan, a seasoned director with more than 60 credits to his name, described in detail how Corden, arsehole, insulted his lens work and even called him stupid. Use of insult, arrogance, haughty behaviours, absence of emotional empathy. What the fuck is going on here? Corden, arsehole, allegedly asked the director and other staffers during filming for the show in 2013. You put a camera there. You put a camera there. It's so obvious how you shoot it. You're stupid. Sense of entitlement, of course, to demonstrate to others how they should be behaving. Lack of accountability for his behaviour. Arrogance of assuming that he knows how to film a show better than somebody who's a director that's got 60 credits to his name. And, of course, personal insult, descending to an ad hominem assault upon this individual, showing his lack of emotional empathy. The assertion came in a video shared to Duncan's YouTube this week, in which he alleged the show host recently tapped one of the biggest dickheads in show business by ex-Spice Girl Mel B, engaged in a meltdown similar to the one that saw him banned from Balthazar late last year. The most difficult and obnoxious presenter I have ever worked with was James Corden, arsehole, Duncan began by saying. And note, of course, that Corden isn't amongst one of those groupings of being untouchable. There are certain narcissists who do behave like arseholes, but generally the press won't touch them. But with Corden, arsehole, no such concerns. He's fair game. He's particularly disliked, and any opportunity to stick the knife into Corden, arsehole, is taken by the press. Duncan continued, I was asked by his production company, would I be willing to direct a challenge that was going to be part of their A League of Their Own show. It was season 7, episode 3, and I'll never forget it. Duncan went on to explain how during filming Corden, arsehole, treaded all over his toes, I think it means trod, and later became confrontational with staff. Lack of boundary recognition, assertion of control, haughty behaviours, absence of emotional empathy. He said, we were working it out when old Buggerlugs pipes up, what the fuck is going on here? Corden proceeded to micromanage the director, aspect of the narcissistic dynamic. James claimed in the clip, which was posted on Sunday. I missed out an arsehole there. I've just included it. It's obvious what you do. You put a camera there. You put a camera there. It's so obvious how you shoot it, Corden, arsehole, allegedly said during the tirade. You're stupid. Narcissistic tirade, exhibition of ignited fury to assert control. A veteran in the TV industry, Duncan remembered how he again ignored the warning signs, assuming Corden, arsehole, was having a bad day and was not a cause for concern. Note here how there's an individual that doesn't recognise that it's narcissism in action. Duncan agreed to film the segment, but recalled how he was met with an icy atmosphere when arriving for filming the next day. He said the tension stemmed from the fact that Corden, arsehole, was only available for a limited time to film. We get to the part where the chef has to pick the winner, and we had like 5 or 6 minutes left, Duncan recalled. I got all the camera crew round to have a huddle to discuss how we're going to shoot this in 5 minutes. We were working it out to save time. Duncan recalled how at that point, Corden, arsehole, co-stars, former English footballer Jamie Redknapp and comedian Jack Whitehall all appeared friendly, but claimed he felt there was a creeping sense of anxiety on the set as everyone started clock watching. We were working it out, Duncan said, when old Buggerlugs pipes up. After being cursed at, Craig claimed he attempted to quell the presenter's rising anger, ignited fury, with appeasement, telling him he was absolutely right. Of course, not understanding the way that he was dealing with the narcissist. He added that the camera crew, that it was the best thing to do, added that the filming had been going really well before those last few minutes, which he said took 45 minutes anyway, due to Corden, arsehole, being late to the studio, lack of accountability through unpunctuality. He claimed if not for Corden, arsehole, he would have finished the scene in minutes, crowning the winner of the cooking challenge without issue. I hope I never ever work with James, arsehole, again, Craig said of the experience. Prior to detailing that meltdown, Duncan described the tense atmosphere he felt during filming because of the comedian, as well as an ominous warning when he was approached by the show's producers. They said, "How are you at working with difficult presenters?" Duncan recalled. I say, "Oh, right, okay, well, I've filmed the Three Tenors before, and you can't get more of a prima donna than an opera singer." Brushing off the warning, failure to recognise red flag, Craig said showrunners then instructed him to attend a dry rehearsal, specifically so that he could witness James at work before agreeing. Watching the rehearsal, Craig claimed Corden, arsehole's first issue, came while reading a cue card with a joke he branded as shit and demanded to be rewritten. Haughtiness, assertion of control. Craig recalled he had to read from a card. It was kind of a joke in there, and he just looked at it and said, "That's not funny." Corden, arsehole, then allegedly added, "It's shit. We have to rewrite that." Mail Online has contacted Corden, arsehole's representatives for comment. The incident is only the latest in a series of controversies involving the TV talker's allegedly mercurial attitude. It's one way of describing him. Of course, we all know he's an absolute wanker because of the type of narcissist that he is. The article then brings up what went on back in October in relation to the Balthazar owner, Keith McNally, and therefore that has the collateral consequence of it being brought up, reinforcing in the minds of those reading that Corden, arsehole, is indeed an arsehole. And then it also makes mention of the failure, or rather the apology that was issued to Ricky Gervais after using one of his jokes. Again, another opportunity to stick the knife in against Corden. Arsehole. So it's demonstrative, of course, of the way that he behaves, and is also demonstrative of the opportunity that's presented to enable people to point out his shitty behaviours and then repeat them again. There then follows underneath a list of James Corden, arsehole's behaviour: stealing Ricky Gervais joke, clash with restaurant owner, snaps at a reporter, slammed for stereotyped portrayal of a gay man, fails to name cameraman on his show, using Noel Fielding's material, makes Weinstein joke, branded a knobhead, the clash with Patrick Stewart. You can see video analysis. So it's another opportunity for all of this to be regurgitated to demonstrate that he is not liked. Of course, if he were to see all of this, this would amount to challenge fuel and a threat to his control. He would dismiss it, smearing what was said about him by complaining to other people. Interestingly, of course, let's see if people understand what's really going on here. Charity Krish below the line writes, I think he's let fame go to his head. The only time I've seen Corden, arsehole, on TV was with Gary Barlow, and JC was so enamoured of Gary Barlow. It was sheer adoration and seemed quite genuine, but the odd clip I've come across, if my husband watches him, he's changed so much, especially after going to America. It happens. No, all that's happened is that the fame that he's achieved in the United States and the money that comes with it has resulted in his behaviours being exacerbated. He's always been a narcissist. And of course, this is another instance of where people fail to understand that it's narcissism at work, and they think, oh, fame has gone to his head. Now, it is the case that with some people, fame can go to their head. It amounts to being an external stressor, which pushes down their emotional empathy for other people, and basically, they behave like a dickhead. But it doesn't last permanently, and often when it's pointed out to them, they correct their behaviour. But we all know, as a consequence of the material that I put before you previously, that Corden also regularly behaves in this manner. Tally6155 states, I went to watch an episode of A League of Their Own being filmed. Corden, arsehole, was rude and obnoxious towards the audience. When there was breaks between filming, he would ignore the other panellists and then put a jokey persona back on when filming restarted. When filming ended, he stormed off set and didn't even say anything to the audience or the other guests. Even though the audience was calling out his name, he didn't even wave. The others all stayed behind, interacted with the audience and did photos. I really liked James, arsehole, and was looking forward to seeing him at work, but totally changed my opinion of him after that, and so did others that were sat by him. Mrs. Chitty Chat. I met him once at my cousin's shows, quite well known in theatre circles. He was quite short with me, but changed his attitude when he realised I was related. She only demonstrates that he's not naturally kind. Gave him the benefit of the doubt, but I've never forgotten our cold interaction, which is why I'm inclined to believe the stories read about him being difficult. Iaya. Unfortunately, I too have to agree with this. I met James Corden, arsehole, in 2012. Even then, he behaved entitled and somewhat obnoxious, as though he was above others and superior. Haughty behaviours, dismissiveness. It was most disappointing. He was not the character he portrays on his chat show. I recommend he reads about the value of humility and learns how to control his ego and incivility. Well, absolutely pointless, because it won't have any impact. James LB, he must be, as the clue is also the fact that he's a pal of Haz and Harry's wife. Many comments slating him, many comments confirming through the provision of anecdotal evidence the experiences of being involved with James Corden, arsehole, once again underpinning the fact that he is a narcissist. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.